When I was in third grade, I had problems behaving. My heart was in the right place, but my good intentions didn't make it to the surface a lot of the time. No matter how hard I tried, I couldn't seem to follow the rules. I had a number of infractions on my record, none of which I told my parents about. There was the time on the bus I pulled a girl's hair to get her attention. It worked. I also wrote an insulting poem about a chubby kid whose name was Matt, and he looked really, really fat. Then there was the time I called my classmate a jackass and the time I called my ex-girlfriend a, well, it's not really appropriate to repeat here. These offenses and more resulted in me repeatedly being sent to the principal's office. And while I hated going to the principal's office, I did not hate the principal, Mr. Radcliffe. Mr. Radcliffe was a kind, elderly man, so when he barely spanked me for pulling my classmate's hair, it didn't hurt at all, but it did hurt my feelings. I thought so much of him in moments like that felt like conclusive proof that I was hopelessly bad. The truth was though, I really did want to be good like the teacher's pets. I just didn't seem to have it in me. I really did want to be good like the teacher's pets. I just didn't seem to have it in me. When I got called to Mr. Radcliffe's office for the 6th time, I had no idea what I had done and I felt dejected as I walked down the hallway. I came into his office, sat down and looked at the floor. Then he said the last thing I expected to hear, "Josh, I've heard you've been behaving really well lately. I want you to know how proud I am of you, and I just called you to my office so I could give you a peppermint." I was stunned. Really? Yep, now you can take that peppermint and go back to class. I took the peppermint with me and carried it down the hallway like it was a gold coin. Then I went to class and bragged to my classmates about my turnaround. My third grade year of misbehaving was redeemed, thanks to Mr. Radcliffe. What a relief. I wasn't so bad after all. I look back at that conversation and a lot of questions come to mind that I haven't even thought about until recently. Who told Mr. Radcliffe to do that? Was my teacher involved in it? Did he do it on his own? What did I do to get his attention? I have no idea. I do know this, there's a troublemaking kid at your local school. Perhaps he or she is your student, maybe the kid is your child. Unfortunately, that child thinks they're bad, instead of realizing that they're just a kid who has a problem with bad behavior. Help that kid out. Go buy a cheap bag of peppermints and take the time to notice that child when they get something, anything, right. Then take them aside, tell them you need to talk to them, and do what Mr. Radcliffe did, give them some hope by giving them some love. They might just remember you for the rest of their life. Joshua Rogers is a writer and attorney who lives in Washington, D.C. You can follow Joshua on Twitter at Mr. Joshua Rogers and Facebook, and read more of his writing at joshuarogers.com. You can also subscribe to emails with updates about his writing.